since lockdown, I've noticed in the last 4 years, especially with our younger citizens of our country, I'm sure it's the same in every other Anglo country, Europe, everywhere. Remember when we were kids, like you grow up understanding the rules of capitalism, you know, he who pays the piper calls the tune. Now why does he who pays the piper, so you're going to hire a piper, you choose what music he plays because you're the one with the money, you pay the piper, he provides you a service. The customer is always right. I did a bunch of sales academy training in my late 20s, early 30s, and the main thing in sales you learn is the customer has a wad of cash. Your job is to get that wad of cash from the customer into the company coffers. That's your one job. Everything else, detail. Whatever you need to do, bend over backwards, bend the rules slightly. You have one job, and one job only, says the man holding up 2 fingers. Money from his pocket into your pocket, and whatever you can do to lubricate that transaction, you do it. If you have to tell a story, you have to bend over, whatever. So many times, and I'll tell you why. It was actually Laura who's helping film this. She's supervising the camera. Is the line across it green? Is it green enough?
Perfect. It's
hey! So, Generation Z, Generation Z, Zoomers are the first generation to come of age, to become adolescents, to have their first adult experiences in the middle of lockdown. Do you remember the Chinese cough and sneeze? The coof? The blue granny fucker? Oh no, that's hypothermia. That's an old joke, that one. But young people, you know, 16 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old during lockdown, you have to tell the customer to put the mask on. Oh, they're sat too close together. Oh, if they get up to walk to the bathroom, they might be eating their meal. But if they stand up to go to the toilet, you have to enforce the face nappy. And so young people, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, we will tell those customers how to act. Even though they're trying to come into our store, pay our salaries by giving the company money. The olden days of the customer being right, the olden days of he who pays the piper calls the tune. Bagpiper, here comes the Highland granny, 2 big tits and a hairy fanny. Something happened during lockdown. We all became massive fillators of the Vladimir Lenin, like Bolshevik phallus. It's like, oh, capitalism, no, that's not fair. Capitalism is bigotry. Capitalism is just the way that those nasty right-wing people push me down and make me into an eternal victim. So now, this is my chance, Mr. Customer. Laura and I were in Liverpool yesterday, and our former favourite pizza restaurant, it's called Rudy's. And we've had bad experiences before in the Ancoats one. There's a few things. We went to the one on St. Peter Street in Manchester. There was 20 free tables at the back. They're trying to get us to sit at the bar, this little like kind of chipboard bar with these uncomfortable
no space.
No space.
Nothing.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
Laura's not a big guy, but she needs space too. You know.
As a couple, you kind of want to face each other, not like you
and
know.
we literally had to get the manager over, explain. And I was like, what was his name? Fry from Futurama. Shut up and take my money. I was like waving. And after like 10 minutes of argument, they're like, oh, maybe we can put this young couple at one of the spare tables. And, 20 years ago, you go to a restaurant, they might be short-staffed. They might not want to open the rear section with the 20 tables. But you walk in, I want to pay money, I want to have a meal. They're like, of course, sir. My job is to get money from your pocket into my pocket, and I will do anything for you. So we're in Liverpool yesterday, there's a new Rudy's, and it was busy. It's just about 4 free tables downstairs, the whole upstairs, free tables. So we're like, yes. So I could tell things were bad anyway, because as we going in, there was a couple coming out, and the guy basically let the door slam into Laura. And she's like, oh yeah, thanks for holding the door for us or something. Or what is it you said?
Oh, no, we held the door for them and they didn't.
Oh yeah, we held
the
door and he just scowled and went past us.
I just shouted, I was like, yeah, you're welcome.
Oh yeah, and then when someone doesn't say thanks, you like kind of sarcastically go, oh yeah, you're welcome. And the guy turns around, starts scowling, I did say thanks! And he didn't. I was right there. Anyway, so we walked in. Nobody saw that interaction. It was outside. So we walk in And I said, oh, can we get a table for two? And the manager, yeah, proper little bullshit hipster, you know, he had this weird man bun where he shaved half the back of his skull.
Onion
at the
head.
back.
Onion head.
Onion head, but he had a tattoo, some geometric, like mathy designs on his thing. And he had the man bun. He was about 25, 28. And he goes, oh, maybe in about 2 hours you can get a table. I said, oh, what about the free? Oh, they're reserved. I said, okay. So we go outside, and we're like, oh, and then I was like, wait a minute, I forgot to ask him about the upstairs tables. Maybe we could sit up there. So I go back in, and I saw the hipster man. He rolled his eyes because, you know, Generation Z since lockdown. How dare the fucking customer think he's got any right to ask for anything? These young Bolshevik wokies turned their business into the Moscow fucking Kremlin Politburo during the height of the Bolshevik Revolution. So I walk back in, and the guy rolls his, yeah, what? He goes, exact word, yeah, what? I said, could we, you know, there's loads of free tables upstairs, could we sit upstairs? And I kid you not, no exaggeration, no hyperbole. Here's how it went. I'm me, the camera's him. Oh, my partner and I, we saw you got like 8 free tables upstairs. Could we sit upstairs maybe? And then the cameraman, he goes, no. And then he walks away. Like, he goes, no. Like, and he enjoyed telling me, no. That smirk, no. And he walks away. So, and my viewers, you know me. Like, I'm going to let that slide. So my first words was, whoa, what's your name, sorry? Are you the manager here? And he's like, he kind of smirks and he's like, fuck off. Like, fuck off. So I shouted across the whole restaurant, excuse me, do you have mental problems? And then by this point, there's 2 chefs, like pizza chefs. They're like, whoa, you can't say that, mate. You can't say that. Get out, get out. And I said, whoa, no, I can't just be dismissed like a fucking retard here. Like, what's your name? Are you the manager? He's like, get out, get out. And I think he came a bit closer to me. I said, dude, you're a fucking asshole. And then we left. And then you go back in. Laura goes back in.
Yeah, very politely.
Very politely to say. And he goes to you, oh, tell your boyfriend he's never setting foot in this branch again.
Yeah.
What a loss to me. I really wanted to fucking be served by these young communists. And like, these spiteful mutants. This is why they support Hamas. This is why they'll support any sexual deviancy, as long as it makes normal, straight, everyday people upset. It's because their idea of victory is for the world to burn, and they think that they will be like the new Soviet commissar. Yes, my name is General bloody Vladimir bloody Bolshevik bollocks face. And we went to Wagamama's, and they treated us like normal, wonderful. The guy, manager Stefano, oh, love it. And then there was another guy, oh, he gave us free cheesecake in Wagamama's. So the whole point of this is to say, something has happened with young people in the West. The ones that don't believe in the future, don't believe in children, don't believe in families. Go on.
I think it's the Gen Zs that had their first job during lockdown when it was
100%.
super communist.
When you come of age
I
during lockdown.
started working when I was 14, so I already kind of like... Not
so
that I have
you've
like...
got in there before lockdown.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's
So
a big
you understood
difference.
customer services.
Yeah.
But during lockdown, Laura's absolutely right. During lockdown, it went from whatever the customer needs to...
Compromisation skills,
Yeah, compromise to like, whoa, I'll open up a table upstairs for you, sir. Yeah, okay, we might be a bit short-staffed, but because you want to come in and spend money and we want your repeated custom, we'll walk up the stairs with your 2 pizzas. So, as I was saying, retail environments, bohemian, like, young people, instead of being like a nice place to earn a bit of money, to like maybe earn some good tips, you know, you're not going to be working in a pizza restaurant for your whole life. You're young, you share a flat, you want to travel around Europe, you work in a pizza restaurant, but you still, for the success of that pizza restaurant, you need it to be comfortable for the customer. The customer is right. The customer wants to spend money. And I think the fatal error of the Bolshevik little insecure little man bun twat with a head tattoo, I hope you watch this, is when I went in, I was still very polite. I said, oh, my partner and I have seen the tables upstairs, maybe we could sit upstairs. And you smirked and went, no, and then walked away from me. And then when I asked for your name and whether you were the manager, you ignored me and smirked at me and told me to get out. So, Rudy's, I don't know the corporate owners. It used to be great pizza. But part of a great pizza experience is not being treated. And you know, like, you go on TV and you see these, like, spiteful, mutant, like, really weird people who hate anything normal. Restaurants, shops, hotels, any leisure experience, if you're married, any leisure. Who looks at the word leisure and goes leisure? And who looks at the word vetch and goes veitch? It's the same, Leivei. Anyway, we'll call it leisure if you want. These are now mausoleums of the failed ideology of communism. But now, as Jordan Peterson very correctly says, they've realized that they've been disproven through their economic Marxism because they all starved. Now they want cultural Marxism. We can turn us all into, like, shaven-headed, like, barber, give me the haircut that I'm offended by everything. Say no more. Give him the twat man bun half-shaved head with neck tattoos. All I wanted was to be treated with dignity. And had you said, sir, I would like, yeah, we do have tables upstairs. I would love to. We're not allowed for this, but trust me, I think it's ridiculous. I want your money. I want your repeated customer. Please come back. In 1 hour, I'll make a table for you. But just the way he smirked, no. Walks away, no.
Whatever happened to don't bring your politics into work?
Yeah, they bring their politics into work. And you see them, like, you see the reason communism is so alluring to young, ugly people. And I don't mean, like, just cosmetically ugly, although that is definitely a part of it. I mean,
in spirit, soul.
Spiritually ugly people. Is that it's the Cain energy. Cain and Abel, if you don't know, in the Old Testament, there's a story near the start of the Bible, in Genesis, I believe, where Abel is like a happy-go-lucky, hey, I'll work hard, I'll be nice to my neighbors, then my neighbors will reciprocate, I'll till the fields, I'll take the sheep out early in the morning, things will work out for me. And like when shit happens, you don't take it personally, you go, oh, shit happens, and you carry on. Cain, though, the angry communist, twisted, is there still a little red ball in the bottom?
Yeah, all good.
The twisted communist anger, he murdered his own brother out of Bolshevik spite. He saw his own beautiful brother, and I bet his brother Abel was a good-looking young guy, no homo, and he's like, that's unfair, I'm resentful, I am full of spite and resentment because look at young Abel. I'm going to ignore the effort and the good humour and the good energy he brings to his endeavours, and I'm just going to say it's not fair. And young, fat, chubby they-thems, these nasty Bolsheviks taking over our restaurants and airports and whatever retail environment, you're going to follow that old maxim, go woke, go broke. Of course, with this video, there's going to be a lot of my haters, and God bless them. As long as they watch and leave a comment, it all works. There's going to be a lot of my haters that will choose to go to Rudy's because they've upset me, and that's fine. But for everyone else who's not a nasty little chubby they-them Bolshevik, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Young people in retail environments thinking they can actually push the customer around. Fuck you! And I'm going to go to Franco Manca instead. Thank you very much for watching. This is Charlie Beach.